Hello and welcome to the next video on this channel. My name is Peps and I welcome you to a video where we'll be talking about the big news that occurred on today's Stardom's Korakuen Hall show as the Goddess of Stardom Tag League began. After the second match, Taro Kata came into the ring and welcomed someone into the ring. It was kind of unexpected as Fuwa-Chan came out with a Stardom jacket on. For those unfamiliar with Fuwa-Chan, and I'm sure there will be a lot of people because there are a lot of new Stardom fans, she is a Japanese comedian and YouTube celebrity and was featured on Prime TV variety shows regularly over the past couple of years. She already had a wrestling stint as she was trained by Hazuki and made her pro wrestling debut in October 2022 in a losing effort to Hina Saya Kamitani next to her mentor Hazuki. She also made another appearance inside the Stardom ring at Stardom All Star Grand Queendom 2023, where she teamed together with Hazuki again, this time against Miyu Amasaki and Utami Hayashishita. In both of these outings, she looked great. She was legitimately, in my opinion at least, one of the best and most naturally gifted celebrities wrestlers I've ever seen. She didn't back down from anything. She took neck bumps. She tried out big spots and everything. And it looked like she belonged into the ring. And that is something you cannot give to any, in my opinion at least, celebrity wrestler. She was also like training with Kazuchika Okada to have a better drop kick and everything ahead of her matches, which is like crazy. Like, imagine telling someone, yeah, Kazuchika Okada trained this celebrity. Like, wow. Even though, of course, Kazuchika Okada is a big thing, but she's a Joshi, like a Joshi wrestler in that sense. It's kind of like should cement how big of a person she was at the time. And ever since, it got quiet around her in terms of wrestling for Stardom, and it has a very specific reason that happened outside of wrestling. On August 4th, 2024, Fuwa-Chan made a post mocking a comedian called Yasuko on her X account. She basically told her to themselves. I can't pronounce it because we're on YouTube, of course, but I think everyone can figure out what it is. And that was a post based on a post Yasuko made a couple of days prior for Ryogoku actually. And that post that Fuwa-Chan made was quickly deleted, and Fuwa apologized to Yasuko, who accepted it immediately. Nonetheless, the damage was done, and the backlash online for the Japanese audience was huge. And it pretty much nearly cost Fuwa-Chan's entire career, as the commercials of Google Pixel, where she was pretty famous for, instantly were taken down, and she ultimately announced that she would go on hiatus a couple of days later as a result of the controversy. So from then on, she was completely out of the picture. No one has seen or heard of her since on social media, and now she's back at Publicity for the first time since August 11, 2024, and that is as part of a surprise appearance at Korakuen Hall for Stardom. And that is a huge thing. And it would all over the Japanese media. Every outlet that you can imagine. Not only the wrestling outlets, but every outlet covered it. She started her promo by saying that she by saying how she reflected from her mistakes, and then announced, and that is the big news, that she's dedicating herself to pro wrestling and will re-debut as a wrestler at Stardom Dream Queendom 2025 at Sumo Hall on December 29th. Let that sink in. One of the former big names in Japan, celebrities, is now wrestling as a Stardom wrestler. And many of you will obviously ask, okay, well, why is Stardom still taking her in and deciding to sign her after all these controversies? Because, like, it seemed like if you're gone for over a year, it doesn't seem like the hate is gone. Well, for me, it has four big reasons. The first one is obvious. You just need to look at the following. Over 1 million followers on Twitter. Over 1 million followers on YouTube. And on top of that, Fuwa-Chan was a steady TV person with popularity among people, especially girls in the teenager age. Reason number 2, she was a really good hand in these tag matches she had, even though she had just had 2 matches, which is like not a lot, but still, for a celebrity, she showed that she can hang in and knows exactly, okay, she has something there in terms of her skills. On top of that, she knows that this is her last chance to ever make it in the entertainment world, as she does not really get many gigs anymore, or any gigs, considering she hasn't been anywhere for the past 1.5 years on national TV. So she needs to play ball. She needs to be a good soldier for the company. She needs to play, be nice, behave, so that she can have a career, because that is now her main income, from at least what we know, is now wrestling in Stardom. Reason number 3, she had a TV presence before, knows people in the TV industry, and if we know anything about the Japanese culture and how Japanese landscape works, not only Japan, of course, but also America and everywhere, if you are playing cool, if you're cool, coming off with cool, people will forgive you eventually. And I think Stardom has realized the potential of, maybe there's a chance that she gets back on TV. And if she gets back on TV again, she will be our wrestler and will be promoting our shows. So if she behaves, if she attracts popularity out of the wrestling bubble, this could be a huge gain for Stardom to grow, not only as a wrestling company, but also grow outside of the wrestling company, similar to what Saya Kamitani did for the company with her appearances at Love It. Fuwa-Chan can do very much the same, if not in a bigger sphere than, of course, Kamitani, because she's, of course, a much, much bigger name. But also, of course, there's a risk to it that it doesn't work out at all, which we will see in the next couple of months, if not years. Then the 4th reason, and that is, for me, another big one, is she is known to the future pool of potential wrestlers that Stardom wants to scout. Young female wrestlers in the age between, right now, 14 to 18, who dream to become big stars. They may be seen, they often are influenced by celebrities, by influencers like Fuwa-Chan, and decides, okay, I want to do the same. We have seen that before with wrestlers also, that wrestlers started to become wrestlers because of other wrestlers. And now you have a new strategy to that, with a celebrity, or former celebrity, whatever you want to call it, who is transitioning to wrestling, who can now attract young women that were following her from her YouTube channel, were following her on her appearances on variety shows, anything, and could now say, hey, look, she became a wrestler. I want to become a wrestler too. What she's doing is great. I want to do the same. And that brings up potential scenarios where Stardom gains a lot of potential rookies for the future to help them stabilize the roster in the long run, because we never know what happens. There can always be people retiring and everything. Like I said, this is a major move for Stardom, and to show how big of a move this is, we just need to look at Fuwa-Chan's Twitter page, as she made her first tweet ever since August 11, 2024, when she announced a hiatus. And we need to go down. We are seeing 145,000 likes when I was recording this. Well, 134,000 likes. 19,000 retweets. 5,000 comments. And 20 million views. 20 million views. This is insane. An insane amount of tweet views in like 5 hours or so. This is something incredible. Back then, when I did a video about Stardom and the first match Saya Kamitani Hana had on Territorial 3, we were talking about like 3 to 4 million views. This has nearly double. This is strategies we haven't even reached yet. And that's just incredible, and just shows the gamble could pay off. Of course, she will always have her haters, because let's be real, this is a topic that will always get some backlash because it's like something very sensitive, and I can totally understand if people say, hey, look, I don't think it's cool at all. Absolutely. For the Japanese fans, it seems like that, based on the comments I have been reading, based on the reactions I've been seeing, that the people who loved her before will love her now. The ones that hated her before will hate her on her now again. So we have a lot of negative but also positive reactions. And in the end, we know that from WWE, we know that from AEW, we know that from every other company in the world in wrestling, outside of wrestling, publicity is publicity. And even if there are, like, I don't know, a few thousand fans that will constantly bash on her and rip her apart, there will also be a fan base that will support her and will level it up. And those fans are the ones that is Stardom trying to attract. And if they're doing that right, and if Fuwa-Chan is performing, the backlash doesn't matter for them. And that will be the goal. So what can we expect from Fuwa-Chan in Stardom? According to her newest video on YouTube, her return video, she was not only training in the Stardom Dojo under Milano Connection AT together with Motoi, with Ane, with Ayasakura and others, but also she was training in the UK to help develop her fundamentals and everything. So it seems like she's preparing for a full-time wrestling run, which will be very interesting, personally. Of course, she will bring a massive star power boost next to Saya Kamitani that the promotion wanted and should generate new fans and create big news all the time in the media because, of course, we know that with celebrities and everything, there will always be some outlets that will follow them with whatever they do. And I think if the plan is to eventually run the Tokyo Dome, and we don't know if that is, but I at least think that this will be the case. Fuwa-Chan is a perfect person for that, to help selling tickets, because she already had a comedy match at the Tokyo Dome as part of some comedy gig, and they wrestled in front of 55,000 people there, with Hazuki and Koguma and Saida ringside. That's a funny thing. I watched that match back when it happened, 2024. It was really fun. You should check it out if you find it. So she has experience selling the Tokyo Dome, of course, in a different atmosphere, but you get my point. Then, of course, we only have seen 2 matches of her, and we know that she looks gifted and wrestler, but I also have said that it will be interesting moving forward how she will be, if she's going to be a part-timer, or maybe she's just full-time and whatever. We don't know, but she will, of course, wrestle more regularly than before. And it will be interesting to see how she lays out her matches, how much help she gets and everything. Because it's obviously, if you have one celebrity match with, 5 months of prepare, you can easily lay it out spot by spot and everything. Now, from Dream Queendom moving forward, she needs to show, okay, I'm not just a celebrity, I'm a wrestler. I can lay out my matches with my opponents themselves. I don't need months to prepare. I don't need spot by spot explanation, everything. And it will be interesting to see how it will be and how her star power will come across when she wrestles in front of a couple of hundred people instead of just at the biggest of the big shows. Super interesting to see how this will go, because if she's full-time, if she sticks around and is good in the ring, I could see her getting a monster push in Stardom. And we're talking about main event at the Tokyo Dome against Saya Kamitani or something insanely like that. Stardom has a chance to create something huge here. They have a person similar to Eric Wolf, even though it goes into the completely different direction, everything, in terms of what they were before they became a wrestler. But still, it will be something to keep an eye on. I will be talking about it here a lot, I think. Sometimes here and there. I don't know. And that, I would say, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a like and comment down below. Maybe if you have seen the video of, or haven't seen the matches of Fuwa-Chan already, check them out on Stardom World. Both of them were really good, really fun matches. And with that, I hope you all enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.